Yo, people, it's CB, and the second day of the new Serie A season has kicked off on the Sunday. And there's some stuff I want to talk about here. There's some stuff I want to talk about, especially this game. There was one thing I really liked in this game, one player, should I say. And I'm basically going to touch on a couple of these games and a couple of the other Italians that were in action. Before I get into the Serie A, I actually want to touch on, where is it? Right here. Boom, Manchester City, Bournemouth. Shout out to Enzo Maresca, the Italian manager, and Italian Gigi Donnarumma. They got the first win of the season, 2-1 comeback against Bournemouth. And yeah, I just wanted to shout out Maresca because he's an Italian manager, of course. We want our managers to do well just as much as our players. And it's important that he kicks off on the right foot. And yeah, I'm wishing him luck this season because it's always hard following up after a great manager when they leave a club. So he'll be under pressure this season. It's not easy. He's not going to replicate what Pep did. No one will. But again, shout out him for the win. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Basically, in terms of the other Italians abroad, there wasn't much going on. So it's just Serie A focus today. Frosinone versus Juventus was interesting. Juventus should have won this game by at least three or four. The amount of chances they missed. Bremer ended up getting the goal in the first half, which sealed it. But I like the country. I like this. Boom, 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 boom. Italians, 9 out of 11 Italians. You also look at the age as well. Raimondo's still 22. Fini and Kikella are a pair of 20-year-olds. Cavani's a really strong center back. He actually had a chance in the 90th minute from a header. Boom, right off the bar. So close. And Juventus could have dropped points in the first day of the season. Very close. So yeah, Cavani. And I like, they're probably going to go down. They're probably going to go down, to be completely honest with you. They didn't look good today. I know it was only 1-0, but Juventus should have won by a lot more. They just missed a ton of chances. But no, I like what I saw from Juventus and Frosinone on the same time in terms of the lineup. Yeah, Juventus didn't have much. You look at the Italians. I thought Locatelli had a decent game. Cambiaso came on. Cambiaso is just still so disappointing. A shadow of his former self. Uh, they brought on some Italians too, but not no one in particular that I think is a game changer or could be a national team player. I think Fini and Kikella are the two that maybe they'll become something, but who knows? They're still only 20 years old. There's a lot of growing there. So just watch out for them this season, especially Kikella. Fini, I think, will be in and out the team all season, but I think Kikella, I think, will be a mainstay starter in this Frosinone team because he was all last season in Serie B, and it's continuing so far in Serie A. So that was Frosinone, Juventus. Venezia Lecce is so disappointing. I mean, I had Lecce finishing 20th, so not a good start for me in my predictions. Go check out that video. But if you look at the country, look at this. Gallo and Falcone are the only two Italians in this whole starting lineup. That's it. Two Italians in the whole starting lineup. So disappointing. Both these clubs. I'd love if they both get relegated, especially Lecce. But yeah, I mean, even off the bench, okay, Dagasso, he's an Italian player, but nothing for Lecce. Yeah, Corriere and Daba. For a second, I thought that was Italy, so I wanted to look at the flag. But yeah, I mean, this game, I don't want to touch on this game because it's so disappointing that there's still Italian teams in 2026 that just don't play Italian players, especially these two teams that, you know, this one came up from Serie B and this one's been battling relegation ever since they came back into the league. So that needs to change. But on to some good news. Atalanta Sassuolo 2-1. This is actually a very entertaining game, by the way. This is actually a very entertaining game. Shout out Aquilani, the coach of Sassuolo, because if you look at the stats, look at that. 2.73 expected goals to 0.71. More shots, more touches in the opposition box. And the score was 2-1 Atalanta. So it just goes to show you Aquilani, he coached the top performance from Sassuolo, but they just couldn't get it done on the scoreboard. But I love the way they play. 4-3-3, attacking football. I look at the midfielders, they're always trying to progress the ball forward. Loriente and Volpato are two exciting players on the wings. Poor Mechoni, he's actually a 20-year-old Italian defender, and he basically cost them the game. It was 1-1, and he made an error leading to a goal that Kristovic ended up bagging. I think he came off the bench, and it gave them the win. It gave Atalanta the win. So disappointing there. But going back to, the countries, I love that Bernasconi, Scalvini, Gianluca Gaetano, Zappacosta, Carnesecchi, Scamacca, Raspadori, lots of Italians. And even Sassuolo, not many in the starting 11, but I like the way they play. I like that they have a couple young ones here. Cinque Grano's another one. I think he played Serie G last season for Inter's under 23s on loan from Sassuolo, so he looked decent today. They brought on Ricardo Cervo, but I'm interested to see what they do with Luca Lipani this season and Patrick Nuama as well. Two youngish Italian players. Atalanta are always good with that. Scalvini was okay. I thought Scalvini was himself. There were doubts if he was going to play this game coming off injured in the last game, but he played and he looked solid. Bernasconi, he was kind of like a revelation last season for Atalanta at the left back position, filling in for Ruggieri, and now it looks like he's the mainstay left back, which is nice. Young, I think he's what, 22? Yeah, 22. Uh, yeah, watch out for Bernasconi this season. Last season he introduced himself, but I think he'll be even better this season. And then Scamacca was okay. Raspadori scored a wonderful goal. Wonderful goal. Go check that out. Left foot, bar down basically. Shout out Raspadori because again, he's not my favorite player. I don't think there's a lot to love with Raspadori, and sometimes he frustrates me. He actually frustrates me a lot. But one thing I'll always give Raspadori, I tweeted this, but his ball striking is insane. The way he hits the football, right, left foot, either foot, he places them nicely as well. He can, if he gets into good positions, he can shoot. He can shoot Raspadori. So it was actually assisted by Gianluca Gaetano, who joined from Cagliari. I think he's 26. Yeah, 26. Napoli youth product, and I like the way Sadi's playing now as like almost like a deeper playmaker. Because I think he's one to watch. He lacks a bit of pace, he lacks a bit of physicality, but technically he's very secure, and he's got good football IQ. So he might be the Bernasconi of last season, where he's not some wonder kid. He's 26, but just watch out. He played in Serie A now for a couple years at Cagliari, and I think this is the year where he really explodes and he could be a start. Who knows? Maybe a national team player. I don't know. But he'll be a continued starter for Atalanta, I think. But yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on. I don't think they brought in any Italians. Atalanta, no. Federico Casa is a young attacker on the bench. Ahanor, the 18-year-old Italian wonder kid, he's currently injured at the moment. Hopefully he gets back in the side. But I just realized it's going to be pretty tough because I don't really want him to replace Scalvini and then Kosunu as well. The only way it would work is if Ahanor goes there, Scalvini goes here. I'd really like that. I know Kosunu's a good player though, so it'll be tough because Bernasconi, I think he has that left back position down on locks. I think he offers a lot more than Ahanor, especially with the way Saudi wants to play. Ahanor is more defensive. So I think, yeah, if Ahanor gets back into the starting 11, you'd have to move Scalvini over, considering he is right footed, throw Ahanor in there, and then keep Bernasconi. You got a nice little all Italian back line actually with Carnesecchi. He was a big stay, by the way, Carnesecchi. He was linked to a move away, but Atalanta's done well to keep him so far, unless something crazy happens on the last day of the window. But this game was the game I wanted to talk about here, Torino AC Milan. The title of the video is based off of this game, and I'm just gonna get right into it here. I want to talk about Alphadjo Cisse, this man right here. What a performance! What a performance! He's only 19. If you don't know Alphadjo Cisse, he had a good season last season at Catanzaro before he got injured. AC Milan snapped him up in January, and he impressed in preseason. Ruben Amorim is saying, he loves Cisse right before this game, and he gets the start and he gets the goal. He breaks the deadlock. No, no. And then what was it, 65th minute? 60 something minute. Breaks the deadlock. Great finish. He looked lively all game. His decision making wasn't the best. He's still pretty raw, so he's far from the finished article. But I really like the goal today, and he's got a ton of potential. And I think if he irons out some of his deficiencies, I think at the Italian national team and AC Milan could have a real gem on their hands. And I think that's key, both. Like Italy needs gems like these, and also AC Milan. They're crying out for an Italian wonder kid. You're thinking maybe it's Camarda, who didn't end up featuring in this game. But Alphadjo Cisse looks like he's gonna take control of this AC Milan team because you look at what Amorim says about him. He loves him, and he's already backing him with a goal, a huge goal because it was 0-0. It was getting nervy, and he breaks it. And then right after, I think Rabiot comes off the bench and scores. So that kind of settled it. Torino, also, you look at Cacciamani, 19-year-old winger. He played this match. I thought he was pretty good. Kachamani's got a lot of speed. It's hard when you play this kind of left wing back position as a winger, where you're not really a true winger. So you don't get many isolations, you don't get many 1v1 opportunities, you don't get many opportunities in space, attacking a defender. So it's kind of hard. He needs to rely a lot on overlaps. But the problem is Kamutsu's not overlapping and Kasadai's not overlapping. So he needs to almost do both. He needs to attack, but he has no overlap. He has no underlap. He only has the pass inside or the pass back or just a moment of magic. Nonetheless, though, I like that Abate is playing him. Abate was his coach last season at Juve Stabia when he was on loan there. So yeah, watch out for Cacciamani this season. Roma were looking to get him. They still could. They still could, but I think Torino are going to keep him, which is important. It goes to show you how much they value him. Torino, I'm disappointed they didn't bring on Andrea Luongo, the 18-year-old midfielder. He had a really good preseason. There are rumors he's going to go on loan, but I think Abate and Torino wanted to keep him with the first team, which is very good. But again, no minutes is kind of disappointing. It is the first game of the season, so hopefully, as the season goes along, he gets more and more minutes. AC Milan, same thing. They didn't bring on Camarda or Komodo, the two 18-year-old Italians, born in 2008, just like Luongo. They didn't bring him. He didn't bring them on. But listen, again, first game of the season. There's going to be times where AC Milan need a goal and Ramos isn't firing, and Camarda will come on in the 70th, 60th minute, whatever it is. He'll probably start a couple games too, considering he is the next attacker up. And then Komodo, I'm a bit more worried for, considering you look at the midfielders ahead of him in the pecking order. Modric, Rabiot, seems like Musa and Jashari, especially Musa had a good game. Loftus-Cheek can't slot into that. So already he's like the fifth, sixth midfielder. That's not even, identifying Samuel Ricci, who is rumored to leave and join, I think, Como or an Atalanta. So he's one to monitor, but still, he's Komodo's late in the pecking order. So for me, I think a loan to a Serie A side like a Sassuolo, like a Parma, I think that would do Komodo a lot of good. But this might be a season where he doesn't get a ton of minutes, but he's in around the first team, and then next season his role increases because he's still very young, especially for a midfielder. Midfield they run games, so you have to be you have to. It's hard to play midfielders that are really raw, um, especially for a club like AC Milan because they have a lot of developing to do. It's different than a forward like a Cisse, who's allowed to make mistakes. The higher up the pitch, the more mistakes you can make. Basically, rule of thumb. But yeah, Alphadjo Cisse was the main guy in this video because I'm just really excited. I think that's the thing. I'm really excited because I watched him last season in Serie B. Was really looking forward to watching him next season in Serie A because I knew he wouldn't be there for long. He scored a ton. I'll never forget that free kick I watched, and it was like I don't see many Italian wonder kids doing that. I think he was 18 or something. Great goal. And he scored a bunch of goals before he eventually got hurt. It was pretty funny, actually. AC Milan bought him, and then Cisse got hurt. And the guy AC Milan go, Liberali, he kind of took over for Catanzaro and took the reign, took the mantle off Cisse, and helped Catanzaro. But yeah, Alphadjo Cisse, watch out for him. Shout out Cisse. Shout out Amarim as well for the trust. And yeah, that's really what I want to touch on in today's video. I'm going to be making a lot of these videos this season. Sometimes day recaps, a Saturday recap, a Sunday recap. Tomorrow I'll probably make one as well off I think there's two Serie A games, but also just a full Serie A match day one recap. The guys I liked, the guys I didn't like, the things I was disappointed in, the things that stood out to me, all that jazz. So yeah, I'll make a video probably on either Monday or Tuesday on that. But yeah, I'm gonna be making videos like these regularly moving forward. I'm gonna try to put more and more long form videos out on this channel. So comment down below who is your kind of favorite player. Let's just say favorite player. Mine was Cisse. I think many years would be Cisse as well. But yeah, leave that down below. And be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you on the next one. Easy.